Hello everyone. Welcome to the English audio podcast. I am very happy to see you here today. Today we will talk about a very interesting topic. The topic is my first job experience. Yes, I will share my first job experience with you, so you can relax and listen. Don't worry, the English is very simple. You can understand easily. My first job was very special for me. I remember I was very young and I wanted to earn some money. I wanted to learn how to work and how to be responsible. My first job was in a small shop near my house. It was a cloth shop. I had to help the shopkeeper and sell clothes to customers. In our daily life, the first job is very important. You can learn many things. For example, I learned how to talk to people. Some people were very friendly and some people were very angry. At first I was scared. I did not know how to talk to angry customers. But slowly I learned. Now I know patience is very important in a job. The very simple thing is, every job teaches you a new skill. For example, in my job I learned how to handle money. I had to give correct change to the customers. At first I made mistakes. Sometimes I gave too much or too little money. But after a few weeks I became careful and correct. The first day of my job was very hard. I woke up very early. I was very nervous. I did not know what I should do. But after some days I felt comfortable. I knew my work. I knew how to greet customers. I knew how to arrange the clothes. Another important thing I learned is time management. In our daily life, time is very important. If you are late, the boss will be angry. In my first job, I learned to wake up early, finish my work on time, and be punctual. Now I know time is money. In our daily life, working with other people is also very important. In the shop, there were two other workers. At first, it was difficult to talk with them. We were young and sometimes we had small arguments. But slowly we became friends. I learned teamwork. I learned how to help others. For example, one day a lot of customers came to the shop. I was very tired. But my friend helped me. He said, "Don't worry. I will help you." That day I understood that working together is very important. Alone it is difficult. But together we can do anything. In my first job I also learned responsibility. Responsibility means you do your work carefully. You don't make mistakes. You help others. For example, the shopkeeper told me to keep the money safe. I had to count the money every day. If I made a mistake, it was my problem. I learned to be careful and honest. The very simple thing is, first job is not only about money. First job is about learning life skills. You learn patience, honesty, teamwork, and communication. You learn how to be responsible. You learn how to solve problems. Sometimes the job was very difficult. Sometimes customers were angry. Sometimes the shop was very busy. I was tired. I wanted to sleep. But I did not give up. I learned to face problems. I learned to be strong. Another thing I want to tell you is about confidence. In my first job I was very shy. I did not know how to speak with customers. But after some time I became confident. I could speak politely. I could help customers. I could explain things. Confidence is very important in every job. Also, I learned to be polite and respectful. In the shop, I had to respect my boss, respect my coworkers, and respect the customers. Even if someone was angry, I had to be calm and polite. This is a very important lesson for life. For example, one day a customer was very angry. He said, "You are very slow. I am tired." At first I wanted to argue. But I remembered to be polite. I said, "I am sorry, sir. I will help you quickly." Then the customer smiled. He was happy. I learned that polite words can solve problems. First job also teaches you money value. At that time I earned my first salary. I was very happy. I bought some small things for myself. I gave some money to my family. I felt proud. You know, earning your first money is a very good feeling. You understand the value of money. Another very simple thing is, you learn to respect work. Before my first job, I thought working is easy. But after the first job, I understood working is very hard. You need patience, skill, and honesty. You need to work every day. In our daily life, first job gives experience. Experience is very important. When you try a new job, you know what is difficult and what is easy. You know how to handle people, how to handle problems, and how to manage your time. For example, after my first job, I got another job. This time I was more confident. I knew how to do work. I knew how to talk with people. I knew how to manage my time. That is why first job is very important. You know, first job is also a story. You can tell people about it. You can say, my first job was very interesting. I learned many things. Everyone will like your story. So, friends, today we talked about my first job experience. My first job was in a small cloth shop. I learned many things. I learned patience, teamwork, honesty, and responsibility. I learned time management. I learned to be confident. I learned to respect people. I learned the value of money. First job is very important for life. You can learn many simple but very important lessons. Thank you very much for listening to English Audio Podcast. I hope you liked my story about my first job. You know, practice English every day. Try to speak slowly and clearly. If you like this podcast, please like and share it with your friends. Stay with English Audio Podcast for more simple English learning videos. See you next time. Bye bye.